Contact eye to eye. I walked up on her, now she acting all surprised. I asked her what she drinking, Casamigo with a lime. Bought her another drink, now she acting like she mine. But you fine, you a 10, girl. What's your name, where your friends, girl? Another shot for the bad girls who don't know how to act right. She said I'm down, she ain't think twice. Another round if you ask nice. 5 figure, 10 figure. She only wanna with a rich. Everything on me, I know. 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 Contact eye to eye. I walked up on her, now she acting all surprised. I asked her what she drinking, Casamigo with a lime. Bought her another drink, now she acting like she mine. But she fine, so I hit the bartender like another round on me. How many shots do you wanna put it down on me? You got good taste, baby, tell me what you down to do. With a clown and the joke's on you. I gotta hand it to you. I just wanna be in your orbit, cause that booty like a planet, gigantic, that shit enormous. I just wanna take you home for the night, going in the morning. Girl, I'm not the type of nigga you want, and that's a warning. 5 figure, 10 figure. She only wanna with a rich. Everything on me, I know. Everything on me, I know. Everything on me, I know. Everything on me, I know.
Hello, salute everybody. Welcome. Happy Monday to y'all. Happy Monday. Appreciate y'all tuning in to the podcast today. Um, Today, this podcast is going to be a follow up on the story that I had covered on yesterday, talking about Jason David Frank. All right. Now, if y'all didn't catch that show yesterday that I did with Jason David Frank, by all means, it's on my channel right now. Check that out, where I give you my commentary about that, and also give you my personal perspective about Jason David Frank whole situation of himself deleting himself. All right. But today, I just received some more interesting information that I want to share with y'all regarding Jason David Frank. All right, so y'all tune in. We're gonna dive into this, and we're gonna determine if this situation was the leading cause of Jason David Frank self-deleting himself. All right, Constant salute. Welcome. We got some cold weather in our state, huh? Well, at least it ain't snowing in our state. I could tell you that much, So I'm happy about that, So happy about that. But I know that it's coming though. Just based on how this weather is right now, and I know it's coming. I know it's coming. Also, before I go further into to the show, I know on yesterday when I did my podcast yesterday, my volume was pretty low. So let me ask y'all this question: how do I sound right now? Do I sound really low to y'all again, or is my volume improved a whole lot versus the show yesterday? Can y'all hear me very well? Because if y'all can't, then I will make adjustments on my audio again. All right. So yeah. Yeah, Constance. Yeah, we got a lot of one rain and everything, as well too where I'm at. So okay, sound good. That's cool. All right, cool. Salute. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and dive into this topic right now. And this topic that I'm gonna talk about right now with Jason David Frank. To be honest with y'all, this is another one of these type of topics that uh, I can understand personally. Okay. Now, once again, if you didn't catch my show last night that I did about Jason David Frank self deleting himself, and my perspective about that, by all means, go and check out that live stream, all right, that I did yesterday. Okay, because I gave a lot of information to y'all on that show. A lot of information, but that's a long story short. Just to reiterate briefly what I was talking about on it, and I was sharing with y'all that Jason David Frank he was known as the Green Power Ranger. He was in the one Power Ranger franchise. For the longest, he was a adamant supporter of the Power Ranger franchise as well, and also he was on doing a Kickstarter with a movie that's supposed to be dropping in 2023 based on the Power Ranger franchise as well too. So he had a lot of things going on with his life. He was doing a lot of appearances stuff, right? His most recent appearance was here in the state of Texas, where he appeared at Comic Con in the state of Texas just recently and stuff, right? So the reason why we're going to talk about this is because this whole situation ended up happening while he was here in Texas. All right. So I ran into this article from this website. Then I also was reading the article in TMZ as well too. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about it. We want to find out is Jason David Frank divorce that he was going through, was that the leading cause for himself deleting himself? Okay, that's what we're going to talk about on the show. That also what we're going to talk about. Um, I don't know. I don't know if any one of y'all experienced divorce before, but we're going to talk about the behavior behind divorce as well too, especially with men, the things that men go through divorce, because we normally see on the other end how women go through, through the divorce process. But on this show, we're going to talk preferably about what the men go through divorce as well too, right? So we're going to dive into all that tonight on the show, on this podcast, all right? So first thing first, let's go jump into this article real quick, all right? Now, this is an article I found. The website is called Radar. Now, this website got all these ads on here like crazy because they trying to get paid for all these ads, and I got my pop-up blocker and everything, and these ads are still showing up as like crazy. I don't know, but it is what it is. But this website had the best source that I've been seeing talking about his divorce. All right, so let's go and jump into it. Um, now, the website is said crude treatment. Power Ranger star Jason David Frank fought estranged wife in bitter divorce weeks before his tragic death. That's Jason David Frank, and that is his wife right there. All right, so this article was published back in 2021. Now, Power Ranger star Jason David Frank was in the middle of a bitter divorce when he died over the weekend. All right. According to the court documents obtained by radaronline.com, Jason's wife Tammy filed for divorce on August 7th in the Texas court. Now, I want to let y'all know right now, right off the bat, right off the bat, Texas court systems dealing with family law, especially dealing with divorces, tough on men. They are very, very tough on men. They are. All right. So, Constance, she said, Urban, not me being married, so that I don't know nothing about it. Well, you first find out about it today, Constance. You never find out about it. Now, all this other stuff, this video don't have nothing to do with that, but this son Jason David Frank chilling with the dog. Now, in her petition, in her petition, she said the two were married back in May 17, 2003, and ceased to live together as husband and wife on or about July 1st, 2022. All right. Tammy said the marriage had become insupportable because of discord or conflict of personalities. Now, I want y'all to pay close attention to this line right here where it say insupportable because of discord or conflict of personalities, because this is very, very important. All right. And I'm going to let y'all know why in a few minutes. But further, she accused Jason of being guilty of cruel treatment towards her that rendered further living together insupportable. Okay. Tammy said that Jason had committed adultery. She asked the court to reward her a disproportionate share of the parties blaming Jason for the breakup and accusing him of fraud. Okay. Now, the reason why I wanted y'all to pay attention first of all to this first part where I say unsupportable because of discord or conflict of personalities. Normally, when the course, normally when people use this or when attorneys advise their clients to use this term, This term normally means that it was a difference of opinion, meaning that throughout their time together or being in a relationship, they could not get along with each other. They couldn't agree with each other at all. Period. So due to them not agreeing with each other, she filed for a petition, which is a divorce. She filed for this petition to end the relationship there. Hey, Constance, you mind you catch that troll for me? But yeah, it ends the petition for the divorce. Doo, doo, doo. Hold up, give me one moment. Mm, okay, you got it. I get it too. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, in her creating a she not creating a petition for a divorce. All right. Now, the other part of this was saying that he committed adultery. Now, I want to let y'all know this is that committing adultery or infidelity is totally different from her original claim, where she said insupportable because of discord or conflict of personalities. Right? These are two totally different claims. All right, two totally different claims. It have to be either one or the other. It have to be because they just wasn't getting along with each other, and she wants to petition to terminate the divorce, or it had to be due to infidelity, because that's how the way the Texas court finds or go into these type of family cases. It's either have to be one or the other. Okay, but the interesting part is this: if it was due to insupportable because of discord or conflicts of personality, right? If that be the case, right? Why is she petitioning to have a disproportionate share of his of the party, right? Meaning that she wants to get not only the standard 50-50 portion, but she want more than that. Okay. She want more than that. Now, another reason too that I want y'all to pay attention to as well too is that I don't know if Jason David Frank, when he was with her, I don't know if he made her sign a prenuptial agreement. But normally, when a person has a prenuptial agreement, this is when they normally use this type of terminology, talking about the disproportionate share of the parties, right? Or disproportionate share of the states, or any one of these type of terminologies, right? Normally, that occurs when a person may be under a prenuptial agreement. Now, like I said, I don't know. I don't know for certain, but that could be a possibility. But let's continue. Let's continue. Now, regarding fraud allegations, she said Jason had committed fraud on the community estate. That's pretty interesting claim. She demanded he reimburse her for a month for her money spent. Tammy pleaded with the court to grant her a temporary restraining order, which I want to. I'm gonna tell y'all about that in a few minutes too. Um, want to grant her a temporary restraining order prohibiting the store from threatening her or destroying or selling the community assets. Tammy wants the court to order Jason to not block her from using their Texas home. In addition, she pleaded that he not be allowed to turn off the electricity or cable. Then, last but not least, on this part, it said Jason X. Now, I don't know if y'all was aware of this, but Jason David Frank, he was previously married before and he ended up being divorced and ended up being married to Tammy right now. All right. If y'all didn't know that. But it said Jason X said that she also needed attorney fees to fight him in court. Okay. Now, I'm going to piggyback on this part right here where it say the temporary restraining order. All right. Now, let me tell y'all about the temporary restraining order and why women will file a temporary restraining order um, in a divorce case. Okay. The number one reason why a woman will file a temporary restraining order is because when they do that right, they are guaranteed to still reside in the current homestead. Once again, when they file a temporary restraining order, they are guaranteed to still reside in their current homestead, meaning that they could still reside in that house, apartment, wherever the case may be, where they living at with that man. All right. And so, according to the temporary restraining order, depending on how the judges would approve it, right? In most cases, they will grant the temporary restraining order prohibiting the man to be within, I say, at the most 300 feet from the homestead. Okay. Then it also could be built into the temporary restraining order that not only they can be 300 feet within the actual homestead where they reside in, but they also cannot be 300 feet anywhere where the person who's petitioning the temporary restraining order is located. So, like, say for example, if this like Tammy, if she was located in another state, right, and she's coming and Jason David Frank is coming to that state, right, where she's located at, right, that temporary restraining order will prohibit him for being 300 feet within the current place where she's at. All right. So that is the reason why they will file a temporary restraining order to try to prohibit that man from being in that immediate space. Okay. That is a tactic that attorneys encourage the women who go through divorce, right? Attorneys encourage their clients to file a temporary restraining order so it can be guaranteed their homestead. Then also, here's another key thing too. Now, if that client has children, by getting a temporary restraining order, it would guarantee that that judge will move more in favor, right? Because that judge do not want to remove the children out of their current place of residence or their current homestead. Okay. So it'd be more than likely that the judge will grant it faster because they will see that as a emergency. And in some cases, the attorneys will also advise a client to make up a fictitious plea stating that their life is in danger due to domestic violence. Say that again. Sometimes the attorney would advise their clients to make up a fictitious plea stating that their lives are in danger due to domestic violence. That way, it will expedite them getting this on temporary restraining order. Okay. So that's the reason why they do that. All right. And now in the state of Texas, anytime when a woman is dealing in divorce stuff, in the state of Texas, I guarantee to you that the judges is going to grant that restraining order, temporary restraining order. I guarantee it. They're also, unfortunately, in the state of Texas, son, and I don't want this to sound sexist or anything like that, but through my research and stuff, right? Majority of the judges, especially in family court, right? Majority of the judges is women. So they are more than likely to grant not only the temporary restraining order, but they are also more than likely to grant whatever type of plea that the client is petitioning or that woman is petitioning. Okay, so um, that's why even on this part right here, what's say regarding the fraud allegation stuff, talking about fraud on the community state, this also kind of in a way kind of led me to believe that maybe Tommy at the beginning of their relationship or their marriage, Tommy probably had pleaded to have a prenuptial agreement with her. And so she is challenging the prenuptial agreement, meaning that in the prenuptial agreement is fraud. Once again, the prenuptial agreement is fraud to her. Okay. So now, in response, Jason said the court should enforce the prenuptial agreement. Like I said, I haven't read this article. I'm just now reading it now. But in response, Jason said the court should enforce the premarital agreement, which means a prenup. All right. That they signed before walking down the aisle in 2000 degree. That's what I just said. He said they had entered into a premarital agreement altering their marital property rights on certain properties on and during their marriage. So when she signed that prenuptial agreement, he he had built into that prenuptial agreement like, hey, whatever it is that I have, if we end up going through divorce, you're not gonna get that. Wherever you wherever one you got, that's what you're gonna walk out with. Wherever I got, that's what you're gonna walk out with. But instead of honoring that right, she's now trying to challenge that, trying to say that the prenuptial agreement is fraud. So she's challenging that agreement. Okay. All right. So he accused Tammy of being the one guilty of cruel treatment in the marriage. He said her behavior made it impossible to live under the same roof. Jason asked the court to have ex follow to not threaten him or use any of the community funds to the outcome of the divorce. Jason asked for the exclusive use of the couple's Texas home, his 2001 vehicle, his 2021 other vehicle, and any other motor vehicle in his possession. Further, he asked for all his clothing and jewelry to be rewarded to him. Now, here's a question. Here's a question, too. Why would a man ask for his clothing and jewelry to be rewarded to him? Why would he plead that to the courts? The one illogical explanation that I could come up with, the reason why, is because maybe Tammy was withholding that from him. Maybe Tammy had locked him out of his estate. Maybe Tammy had called the local law enforcement on him, stating that this is a domestic violence situation. Therefore, due to just trying to keep the peace, the officers there may have advised Jason David Frank to leave his place of residence so nothing won't be escalated. Now, notice the term that I say. Notice I said they may have advised him to leave. They can't make him leave unless there's um, proof that domestic violence have occurred into the household. Then if it have been proven, then it becomes a civil matter from there. So like I say, I'm speculating, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if this is 100% facts, whatever, but I'm just speculating based on what I'm seeing. All right. Not saying ne- Jason response was filed on September the 6th. The case was still ongoing and the parties were going back and forth last month. Um, as this on website here previously reported, the mixed martial artist died over the weekend. Sources revealed his death was a result of suicide. Jason became a household name for many people in the, Mighty Morph Power Ranger show. All right. And that's the end of this particular article, y'all. So before I segue into the next point where I'll show y'all some more stuff about this, the reason why I'm revealing all this to y'all is for the fact that I just want to let y'all know that going through a divorce, going through a divorce is very, very tough. Going through a divorce is tough on both parties, the man and the woman. A man don't perceive divorce differently from a woman. Let me say it again. A man perceives divorce differently from a woman or from women. In most cases, the reason why women go through the whole process of divorce is because they have been emotionally detached from that man, or some type of emotions is going through that. And I'm talking about this particular situation that we're dealing with Jason and his wife Tammy. I'm not talking about other situations where there's it's truly is domestic violence and that woman is trying to flee and doing all. I'm not talking about that situation. I'm talking about this particular situation. Okay, but this particular situation, for what I have seen and I have noticed, is that um, the woman be more emotional because they, in a sense, they became emotional detached from their man, and so when they when they become that way, they end up resenting that man, and then to top it off, right, they immediately develop this entitlement mentality, meaning that they feel that they're entitled for all this different type of things that they have contributed into the relationship or contribute to the marriage. Yeah, it is on crazy concept. It is. But they feel that they entitled. This is the reason why when women go through the divorce process, instead of them just leaving out the relationship, don't worry about all this other stuff. The reason why women do that is because, to be honest, like I say, many women have this entitlement mentality, meaning that, hey, uh, I have put into XYZ work into this relationship, so I am entitled or I deserve 50% or more based on the work I have put into that relationship. Now, keep in mind, for example, there may be some women that enter into these relationship with these men, right? Where they didn't enter into a relationship with nothing, absolute nothing, and they end up building, right? And so, due to the process of them building and building and building, right, they feel due to them going through that effort of building that they're when they go through the divorce, they feel that they're entitled to that. They should be entitled or compensated for the work that they put into the relationship. Likewise, the average man, right? The average man, the average man. Likewise, the average man and the average man case and stuff, right? Normally, the average man would be more what's what I look for, more stable, for us, for us them providing. And I'm talking about the average man. I'm not talking about these old dusty dudes out here who ain't doing shit. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about a real average man who actually got their career going, whatever type of career or whatever they got going on for themselves. They're well stable. You know what I'm saying? They done took out the time and effort and everything to build themselves up to be prepared to be a good husband and a father for the relationship. Okay. So they didn't put in all this work and all this effort and different like that. They didn't did that for themselves. But likewise, the average woman go through the process of um building for herself, or she'll go through the process of what's the best word, trying to find herself in a way, and she'll utilize the relationship or the marriage to do that. That's why women who haven't been career oriented yet, this is the reason why they wouldn't mind being housewives, right? So they could, go in school and develop their career or develop whatever type of craft that they want to go to, right, or deal with, right, while the men handle all the bread winner situations that he does in the household while she's building herself. Then after, when she build herself up to a certain way and she's getting out there and she decided to go out there to the workforce as well as the men, and doing all these different things, some these type of women, they end up getting, um damn, I hate to say this, but I know I'm gonna get I know I'm gonna get it for saying this, but some of these type of women, they get besides themselves, they end up getting to the point where they feel that now they're contributing the stuff, right, to the marriage, contributing to the household and stuff, right. They feel that they're entitled, and they feel like that they should push that man around or whatever. And notice also I said somewhere, I'm not saying all women does this, okay? I'm saying that there's particular women with this particular type of behavior that does this, okay? And they get into that situation and they feel like now that since they more established now, that they could literally control that man. They could want to do things to try to emasculate that man. I know read some situations where women were purposely, right after when they didn't got their career set, they done went to school, did all these different things, got their career set or whatever stuff, right? Some women would purposely sabotage the relationship, sabotage the marriage so they can want to plea to be divorced for um inconsolable differences or a difference of opinion, or because they can't agree. Someone will literally sabotage that just because they didn't got what they want out of this man, and now they're ready to move on. They will use terminologies such as well, we just grown apart. But in reality, they really didn't grow apart. It was in reality their woman was there just to benefit from that man until she get to a certain point where she want to be at. And now, since she's at a certain point that she want to be at, and she see that now she's more eligible for um, other men out there, and so now therefore she'll get rid of the current dude that she's with in the marriage and try to go for the man that she's now eligible to receive. Men do the same thing. These like these old dusty beta male simp men, they do the same thing. Where they'll be in a relationship and they don't got nothing going on, and women would call them potential. And so, oh, you just potential. You're a dreamer. You're potential. And so they'll be in this relationship with them, and they'll be building with them and allow them to go to school and do all these things to build them up and to the point where they want to be at and stuff, right? Then once when they get to that point where they be at now, they're career driven, they're passionate about what they're doing, they're making the income, they're the breadwinner, all stuff there. And these beta male simp dudes do the same as that thing where they be like, now I see that I'm more eligible to this particular woman that I've been trying to go for. And they'll literally divorce and go for that woman that they want to be with. So let's segue real quick, y'all. Um I want to show y'all something. I seen an article that was pretty interesting on Psychology Today that I want to share with y'all. I'm gonna share it right now. Mm, mm, mm. All right, this is an article that I seen on Psychology Today. I found that it was pretty interesting. I want to share it with y'all tonight, and it's still going through this whole process. If did divorce really lead to Jason David Frank committed suicide? Which I'm gonna talk about that too. Um, talk about the behavior behind it too. But check out this article. I want y'all to pay attention to this article, right? So, according to Psychology Today, right, this article is talking about the three worst mistakes men make in divorce. All right, the three worst mistakes that men make in divorce. Now, a couple of key points in this article, it says this. It said men and women view divorce differently, which I stated that earlier to y'all, right? Because men do, women do. Men often make the same three mistakes without regarding for the ramification of others. All three behaviors can be corrected if the man is open to making changes. All right. So I'm going to skip all the way down to and we get to all these mistakes. All right. So the first mistake that a man make is being about all business in the divorce. Okay. The first mistake is men being about all business in the divorce. Now it says this: men are masters of compartmentalization, particularly if they are intellectuals, intellectualization as a coping skill. One woman said incredibly about her husband's ability to compartmentalize. If it's not in front of my husband's face, he doesn't even think about it, which, to be honest, it's true. In some ways, this is a good quality to have and one that I encourage women to develop more. When you compartmentalize, you are better at setting boundaries and not taking on the problems or feelings of others so personally. To be absolute honest with y'all, I can tell y'all without a shadow of doubt that I am that type of person who compartmentalize where I don't let things bother me and I don't take things personally, about how the way people feel about me or anything like that. I don't. I really don't. You know. Sometimes people will say people will use this on term or Bobby too. They'll say, well, you just being nonchalant. I hate it when you're nonchalant, where you don't be caring about these things, stuff like that. It ain't the point that I'm nonchalant. It is that I just don't let things bother me because I don't see it as being that serious. Because in my mind, I'm always thinking about the problems and I'm thinking about accountability and I'm thinking about solutions. That's it. That's all in my mind all the time. The problem, accountability, solution. So I already thought about, in my mind, I already thought about at least five different scenarios how this could be resolved in my mind. And within these scenarios, and it have nothing to do with me being all super emotional and being up in my feelings or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But that is how I am. So, but in a divorce, however, it can be devastating for the woman on the receiving end of this trait. Soon to be ex-wives who experience this wonder what happened. They see these men as someone they used to love deeply, the father of their children, and someone they still may genuinely care about. Yet the soon-to-be ex-husbands go from seeing the women they marry as women who once had a special place in their hearts and mothers of their children, to when the papers are filed, seeing them strictly as their opponent. Now, I to be honest with y'all, when I had went through my divorce, right, in the beginning, I didn't see my ex-wife as an opponent. I didn't. But as things progressed through the divorce proceedings and stuff, right, and how the way the different attorneys, my attorney and her attorney was doing things, it kind of made it. It's like they made it that way. It's like the attorneys made it that way, where it became more of a competition to who is going to who's going to win. You know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, I didn't care. In my mind, I did not care. All I wanted to do was have this situation over with, and whatever's entitled to me, I just want to get whatever's entitled to me, and I just wanted to be done with it. But when it started becoming more of a competition, where I be like, no, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get more of this, blah blah blah, and all this crazy stuff, then that's when my mind started changing to like, well, hell, if she doing this shoe, I might as well do it too, you know. But that was just me though. Oh, my bad, Constance. You know me. I was reading the comments. You said, do that mean they want money when the lady gets out of marriage? That's what you're saying. Do that mean they want money when the lady gets out of marriage? And you talking about for us the prenuptial agreement? That's what you're talking about. Because like, um, yeah, because like, even if you're dealing with a prenuptial agreement or if you're those divorcing period, um, many people want to be compensated, you know what I'm saying, for that. They want to get money out of it. They want to get the house out of it. They want to get cars out of it. They want to get as much stuff out of it as possible because, just like I say, these people have a entitlement mentality. All right, they feel like they are entitled to whatever it is that was in the marriage. So yeah. Um, but yeah, men may focus solely on the financial and business aspect of the settlement at the expense of the welfare of the kids or ex-wife, which that is true. I have to agree to that. An example of this happening recently when the client husband got his parents to write a letter stating that the house had been gifted to him alone. My client remembered the wedding card that clearly stated it was meant for both of them, but she haven't saved the card. She had no proof, and he did, even if it was his parents going back on their original promise. He was deemed by the judge to be the sole owner, so he got to stay in the house. Their two kids, aged 12 and 15, preferred to live most of the time with my client. Only spent 2 nights a week with him. This meant that three people got displaced instead of just one. The kids lost their childhood home, which uh, that happens. Their stability. They had to live in a cramped um quarters, meaning an apartment. Um, Not the worst problem in the world to have, but certainly not the best outcome for the kids, which that's true. All right. Uh, he he could have kept the house as a separate property and let them all live there, but he saw that as a losing proposition. So when it was proposed by a neutral financial professional, he shot it down, which is true. That goes back to what I was saying earlier, y'all. That goes back to what I'm saying earlier. When you're going through this, going through divorce, y'all, it becomes that way. It becomes a competition that way because people they be having this entitlement mentality. And to be honest with y'all, I'm just being real about it. To be honest with y'all, it starts with the woman because the women be having this entitlement mentality, and the men don't be thinking about stuff like that because in our mind, right, in our mind, We took the time and effort to help build the home and all these different things, right? So in our mind, the same way how we could rebuild it the first time around, we could go back and do it all over again. That's in our mind. But for say woman, mom, right? And a woman thinking emotionally, a woman is thinking like, oh my God, I got to go through all this work to do this all over again. But I don't want to go through all this work to do it all over again when it's already there presented to me in the first place. So I'm just gonna petition and fight for that. And that's what they do. And then when that man sees that happening, then that's when his mind changes about it. Like, oh, hold up now. Hold up now. So I'm just saying. Oh, you said, yeah, that's what I am saying. Yeah, the agreement. Okay. Yeah, yeah. And that's on facts as well too, on constance about the one people with divorce. Yeah. Yeah. I always say this on all the time that I don't wish my worst enemy would dealing with divorce at all. I don't. Because divorce is tough. It is tough. It is mentally, financially, and spiritually tough. It really is. It really is. But the second mistake is this is being a bully, which this is also true. Y'all can't lie. The second mistake is not related to the first one. After all, you can't bully someone unless you objectify them. This entails moving yourself emotionally from the other person. Road rage is a great example of this, but bullying as a component of malice that's being our business does not. Bullies purposely cause harm to others through humiliation, fear, or other tactics such as social isolation to dominate and control. Because the courts are set up to be adversarial, litigations is a bully's playpen. In a divorce, which at its worst is about winners and losers, like I stated earlier, it really is. It really is. But bullies can thrive in this. And if the bully has money, proceedings can be dragged out for months, if not years. And I have heard that too, where like say for example, this man, he do got a lot of money, right? And he'll drag that divorce out for the longest, just to be, as I say, a bully or to be malice or to be resentful to that woman. I done heard it, and I done heard it happen. So bullies enjoy the fight sometimes at a tremendous expense. Okay. Seeing your soon to be ex as a opposition allows you to go in for the kill and not focus on the damage being done in the process. One woman ended up so flattened by her husband's behavior that she withdrew her dissolution petition and resigned herself to stay in the loveless, lifeless marriage just to avoid his wrath. He had warned her about the $100,000 that he would crush her, and he was true to his word. At every turn, he was out. Every turn she was outmaneuvered and outspent. He had no compunction about lying and cheating to get what he wanted. Being a curl, soft-hearted woman, she was no match, and so she just submitted. Which this whole entire paragraph right here, it is so true. And that is not only with women who deals with that, but it's actually men who deal with that as well too. Because men deal with women with this same type of behavior. Dang, you feel like y'all know how it is. You feel like you got to sneeze, but you just don't. It just felt like I had to sneeze, but it just never came out. So if I end up sneezing, y'all don't laugh. My bad, y'all. Don't laugh. But anyway, for those who do push through though, there's a heavy price to pay. Often these women end up asking for less just to get the divorce over with. To be honest with y'all, once again, um, I can relate to this because in my mind, I just wanted the whole crap to be done with. I was like, man, look, I don't want to drag this out. Let's get this over with. Let's so we can move on with our lives. That was my mindset. I did not care. Me personally, let me put myself on the camera so y'all know I'm dead serious about this. Me personally, y'all. Me personally. Me personally, when I went through this, right, I didn't care about none of that stuff. I didn't care about no house. I didn't care about no car. I didn't care about no TV. I didn't care about no VCR. I didn't care about none of that stuff. I didn't care about my clothes. I didn't care about none of that stuff. None of it. None of it. I didn't care about none of it. All I wanted to do was just get this situation over with. That was all in my mind. Like, look, I'm just tired of this shit. I just wanted to be done with it. So whatever it is that you want, I don't care. Take it. Because I know in my mind, I knew in my mind that I could rebuild and do it all over again. So that's why I was that was in my mind. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was thinking about. And in that sense, that's what was happening and stuff. Got everything. Then like my the attorney that I was using, right? My attorney was trying to get me to plea, to put in the plea to get through you know, all the homestead and all the stuff there, right? Then I was thinking about that, right? I like, hold up. What about our children though? Because in my mind, I didn't want our children to start over, especially that the one house that you know we was residing in and stuff, right? We was in that house. Um we have me and my ex wife, right? We pretty much seen that house built from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? We was there, watched the house built from the ground up. All our children grew up in that house. You know what I'm saying? So I did not want to take that away from them. I didn't want to take that away from them, then doing that and just all this weird stuff. So in my mind, I'm like, look, no, I don't care about that house. The children could, you know, I want them to stay. I want them to stay stable where they at. So take the house, whatever. I'm fine. Just take it out. I don't care. I don't care. Longest I have my custody rights over you know, my children and stuff. That's all I cared about. Like long as I had a right to continue to be a father in their life, and I have my you know, custody rights, visitation, and all this stuff that other that I didn't care. But there's some people that don't think like that. You know what I'm saying? There's some people that like, no, just like we read earlier in the article, people don't think like that at all. They're like, forget hell, forget that. They'll say, forget that. Oh, you ask someone, do I look like my mom or my daddy or both parents? I look like my father. I like my father conscious. Actually, I look like a exact image of my father, but younger. To be honest, to be honest. But yeah. All right. So the mistake number three that men make is that moving too soon, which this is also true. Now, divorce is hard and often isolated experience. It can put people in touch with their core attachment wounds, like no other process anyone would go through. But yeah, it's oh shoot, I lost my place. Oh, um, go through in their adult lives. It is for this reason that someone who doesn't want to feel saddened, lost, or fear of being alone will understandably seek out something such as a new partner to take their mind off the pain, which that is so true, y'all. Is that so true? But yeah, I look like my father. I look like my mom. However, when you're at your worst and most distressed, you are not likely to pick up a top notch partner. Instead of a I do partner, it might be more like a I'll do you one someone for now to get you through the lonely nights and weekend, which that is true. Like any mood altering substance, this new woman in your life may take the edge out, but she doesn't really solve your essential loneliness. It's no more effective than putting a band-aid on a gas your womb, which that is so true, y'all. That is so true. That's so true. Now, there are different phases that people want to go through during divorce, right? Um, there's a pre-divorce phase that people go through, and the pre-divorce phase is, when they're going through all the litigations and all these different things, all the resentment, um, all these different things that they're going with. You know what I'm saying, through the pre-divorce phase. Then there is a post-divorce phase that people go through, right? Where after when the smoke clears and stuff, right, then everything is starting to become normalized now. That's when they finally get to the process of potentially forgiving that person and forgiving themselves and moving on. All right. But the problem with this is that I done learned that a lot of people be stuck at that pre-divorce phase, even after they didn't finalize their divorce and everything. They still stuck in their pre-divorce phase. You know what I'm saying? They're stuck at that, and they need to move on from move on and get into the post-divorce phase. You know what I mean? So yeah, but yeah. So the reason why I was sharing this on article with y'all is because these are the things that men really literally do go through. These three things that they go through with um you know with dealing with divorce and making these mistakes in divorce. You know what I'm saying? They really do. And another thing that I want to add on to this is that men tip men typically try to portray themselves as being the victim. All right, they either be the victim or blame the victim, one or the other. All right, instead of taking personal accountability. Yeah, that's another part I want to add on to this. All right. Now, the reason why I'm sharing about this on the divorce thing and it relates to Jason David Frank. Um, Now, I want to let y'all know that once again, divorce is a very very tough situation to deal with. It's very tough. Um, I want to let y'all know that if you're not mentally stable, most of all mentally stable to deal with divorce, that divorce can lead you to self deleting yourself. It really can. It can lead you to self deleting yourself. And here's the reason why. Imagine you being in a marriage and stuff, right? Imagine you being in a marriage for um um 10 years, 20 years or whatever stuff, right? You've been with this person for so long and stuff, right? Russ, salute, welcome. But imagine you being into this marriage, right? You being married for 10 years or more, right? Or even on 5 years or longer, right? Imagine you being in that relationship, right? And you thinking that things is going good, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, things start going downhill and stuff, right? And you're doing your absolute best to try to make this thing work, especially if you have children. You're doing your absolute best to try to make this thing work, and it's just not working out for whatever reason. The next thing you know, you end up going somewhere. The next thing you know, you've been served some divorce papers out of nowhere. That would be devastating to you that this situation is happening. Here's a person that you want to plan on spending the rest of your life with. You done walk down the aisle with. You done laugh with this person. You done cry with this person. Y'all done got into arguments together. Y'all done procreated together. All these different things and stuff that y'all have contributed to the relationship, right? All these different things that are happening that y'all contribute to, right? Y'all done build together, y'all done did all these different things together, you know what I'm saying? Sure, intimate moments together, all these different things, you know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden it's coming to an end. that is devastating to a person emotionally, especially if you're not emotionally stable to handle divorce or to handle getting out a relationship like that. It would most definitely will drive that person into want to self delete themselves. Most definitely will. Now, do I agree with them doing it? Absolutely not, because I know that there are more things in life to live, work living, than to do something like that. But I know that they will do that because now your whole life been you done center your whole entire life, your whole entire world into this relationship, and it been taken away from you. Now in your mind, you're thinking in your mind that dang, I don't got nothing. I don't got nothing. I don't got nothing. And probably you're thinking in your mind like, damn, this woman is taking away everything from me, including my kids. She taking the house, the cars, the kids, everything. Then on top of it off, this woman put me on child support, and ain't nowhere in the hell I'm gonna be able to live. There ain't no point of me living. And so you end up going through that. Then on top of that, you don't have a strong support system. The most that you have out of your support system is some friends or family telling you to do stupid stuff. They send up here giving you advice on how to proceed the relationship while they living the life, and some of them probably have good relationships. Some of them probably be married and they have a good marriage or whatever, or they're probably not married at all. You know what I'm saying? Or they, whatever, or they probably went through divorce, whatever. But giving you instead of give you some real good sound advice to kind of help you cope through this situation, they give you some real fucked up advice, you know what I'm saying? And put you deeper into that sunken place, you know what I'm saying? And so yeah, it would absolutely lead for that person to thus self delete themselves for real. That situation will lead to that. Miss Flower, salute, welcome to the podcast. But yeah, it'll lead to that point for real. It'll lead to that point. Now, from a personal perspective, again, right, y'all, and this is one of my accountability moments that I'm sharing with y'all. When I went through that whole process of going through divorce and stuff, right? I'm not gonna lie, it devastated me a lot. It did. It devastated me in so many different ways and stuff, right? Because in my mind, I due to me coming out through a religious household and stuff, right? I believe that marriage is sacred, and I also believe that marriage is supposed to last until literally death do you part. You know what I'm saying? I believe in that. Well, actually, I take that back. Normally, death do us part, or if you are in a toxic relationship, then the only two circumstances that I believe that a marriage should end. If it's either death do us part or you is in a toxic relationship where you're dealing with domestic violence every day, you're dealing with either a extreme narcissistic man or a extreme narcissistic woman, or both of y'all narcissistic as hell, and it becomes extremely toxic for y'all, then I believe that divorce will be the more solution for y'all situation, because if not, then y'all gonna end up doing something to each other. Then the only two situations. But when I went through that and stuff, right? Um I ended up losing a lot, you know what I'm saying? Lost a lot. And it was hard. It was so hard. And what made it so hard on me was that I was noticing my children at the time too. That's what really got me was my children, looking at them and looking how the way at that time they behavioral change and everything. Cause we two grown adults going through the stupid shit, seeing their behavior changing and everything. Where and that was tough. It was tough for me at one point in time. As y'all know, y'all probably know right now, because I often will have my children feature on my own podcast sometimes. So right, but y'all can see the relationship that I have with my children. That am an active father. Um, just imagine me being a active father, and I'm doing everything with the kids, and I always used to be with the kids' activities and stuff, right? Heavily involved with their education. Uh, I was there with each of every last one of my children, on watching them, watching their one mother birth them into this world. Was there through the whole process of that, and watch them grow, and from a baby, taking care of them from a baby, on up and stuff, right, and help assisting with that. Stand up, not only with her stand up late night, but I'll stand up late at night as well too, feeding them, changing their diapers, things like that, taking them to appointments and stuff when my ex couldn't. Um, whenever they had a nightmare, I was there to be over them and cover them and um, protect them. Whenever they had a good or bad day at school, they'll me to come and tell me about this stuff because I'm right there at that moment. To go from that to being separated from that, where it's more, instead of it being an everyday occurrence like it was, to just only um, visitations and stuff, right? That is hard on a father. That is hard on a father. Now, just imagine, I say it's hard on the father and it was hard on me, but just imagine if it's hard on a father, imagine how harder it would be on a woman as well too, dealing with that. Just imagine if it's the other way around, where this woman went into this world and birthed these children. She went through the whole process of carrying them and stuff, doing all these different things. She's a part of the activities and stuff. The husband really wasn't doing this much, or probably wasn't doing nothing at all, doing all these different things and stuff, right? The next thing you know, this dude used his power and control and different things like that to petition this divorce. And next thing you know, the woman ended up getting kicked out the house, and it went from her tucking in the children, praying over them, and doing all these different things every single day, right? From that to only seeing them every other weekend. That is tough, y'all. That is tough. That is emotionally tough. So that's why I'm saying, like, even the situation with Jason David Frank, perhaps that's was his mentality. That was his mindset. That he went from the same situation with them, and if they had children together, from this that he thinking is a happy home, and next thing you know, you petition for a divorce because of y'all just can't get along, and next thing you know, you're fighting, and you can't see the children as often if they have children, and the children are being affected by that. That is tough, y'all. And it would drive that person to the point, if they end up losing it all, right, it would drive that person to the point where they want to self-delete themselves. This is no different from a person who's a businessman and a businesswoman, right, where they invest their business into different stocks and stuff, right, and let's say that that same stock or whatever, or the stakeholders and stuff, right, end up flopping, right, and they put all their money into it, and next thing you know, it flopped, and now they're in debt, in extreme debt, and this is the type of debt that they know they can't get out of. This is where y'all seeing like on reports where people will literally commit suicide or self delete themselves because of that reason, because they feel that it's a point of no return for them. So I don't know. Maybe this is what happened to Jason David Frank. Maybe he got to that point where he felt that there was a point of no return, especially now. Keep in mind also that this is this man's second marriage. Okay, it's one thing to get divorced one time, but it's another thing to deal with it again for the second time around. Second time around is way worse than the first. So I don't know, he may have seen it at that right, and deep down inside he really didn't want this situation to happen, but um Tammy was adamant about making it happen, and he just got tired of it and just forget it. And I just wonder why I ended all. Maybe another reason, like some speculate, maybe another reason why he probably self deleted himself is because part of the prenuptial agreement, he probably had it built in the prenuptial agreement that if he do end up dying prior before the divorce, then she's not going to be able to get the homestand. It is going to be rewarded to how the way he got it built in his will. So that's could be a possibility. That could be a possibility. So I don't know, you know. But in any situation, just like I say, y'all, I don't. Once again, I don't recommend divorce at all for people at all. I really don't, unless it's for them two reasons that I stated. If it's for the two reasons that I stated, then by all means, you know what I'm saying, you gotta do what you gotta do to protect not only yourself physically, but you gotta protect yourself mentally and spiritually as well too. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, you just divorcing because you just bored and all this weird stuff. That ain't right. That ain't fair. This like what Constance say. Just stick it out. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, just like my daddy told me this too. My daddy told me this too. He said this. He like, son, it's it's cheaper to keep them, right? That's what he told me. Like, it's cheaper to keep them. So if it's cheaper for you to just stay in a relationship and just work this thing out, and the relationship is not toxic, and y'all just disagreeing for whatever the case may be, stick it out. It's the whole point of being in a relationship. It's to want to stick it out and work it out. Just stick it out and work it out. Go through one counseling. Get marital counseling. Y'all both do y'all part to contribute to it and make it work. I believe that the modern day culture made it easier for us to have an exit. I'm gonna say this again. I believe that the modern day culture made it easier for us to have an exit because back in the day, my our ancestors didn't have an exit. They had to stick that thing out, good or bad. They had to stick it out due to the circumstances that they was dealing with. Due to the circumstances that they was dealing with. They was dealing with in the South that was dealing with the antebellum era and stuff, you know what I'm saying? That was dealing with all these different things, slavery, all these different things that our ancestors was dealing with, you know what I'm saying? And then don't even have to be a black thing. It could be let's say cultural thing, you know what I'm saying? It could be the same with the women of this country and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Within the first wave of the feminist movement and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Prior before that, the women was sticking it out with their husbands because the husband was the breadwinner and wherever he said went. And the women didn't like that. But they was sticking it out because at that time they didn't have no exit. And if they did have an exit, they'll be exiting out their relationship the same way that they came into it. Now, if they came into the relationship with nothing, they exit out their relationship with nothing, and that was the problem. And that was one of the things that was being mentioned and debated about within the first feminist wave movement to push for women's rights, not only just right to vote and all this different thing, but the woman right to have access to the homestead and any other type of estate. Thing online, y'all look it up. So that's why I say that now, this modern day, it made it easier for people to just exit out of relationships. It gives them an out. If it don't work out, you got it out. Then it makes it worse that the divorce rate, um there are more women who are divorcing than men, and there's a reason because of that too. And it ain't because of domestic violence. It ain't just because of that. There's a reason behind that, and the reason because um, there are many modern day women who have the mentality thinking that they automatically got it out, and they know that wherever state that they reside in, they're more than likely or going to be rewarded with 50% or more of the estate that they done built in a relationship or in their marriage. That's why, to be honest with y'all, ladies, that's why a lot of men is divesting from being married because they don't want to lose their assets that they built. They don't want to lose that. They don't want to give you. They don't want to lose that, nor they don't want to give 50% of something that they know a woman did not bring to the table. That's the reason why. So like I said, I think it's just they just made it easier to access that instead of us being grown adults and work out our situations. If it's not violent, be some grown adults, suck it up, and work that relationship out. You choose to be with that person, so if you chose that person, then work it out. Figure it out and work it out. And I believe it's just that simple. But you have to be committed to it. Gotta be committed to it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But other than that, y'all, once again, I want to uh, hep- just give my condolences out to Mr. David Frank, Jason David Frank. Sorry, I want to give my condolences out to him once again. If y'all didn't catch my show last night that I was talking about him, please check that show out. Um, yeah, please check it out because I did give a lot of information out how the way I felt about that, um, especially with him being one of my childhood heroes, where he helped me out a lot when I was young, for real. And I know Power Rangers was just a show, but even within that show, he was teaching a lot of lessons on dealing with just coping, with a lot of situations and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why me personally, I call him a childhood hero that I respected a whole lot. And that's why a lot of people, who are millennials, respect him a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because of that, because of what he was doing. So, um, once again, y'all, I appreciate y'all tuning into this show tonight. Hope I gave y'all a different um, perspective or a different outlook based on the situation. At the end of the day, I not hope that this wasn't the case with Jason, that he ended up self deleting himself because of this situation. I hope that that wasn't the case, but is it possible? Could be, could be, y'all, because it has happened, with other people. You know what I mean? It has happened. Oh, you say you heard that word? What my daddy said? Yeah, yeah, facts, facts. Yeah, my dad used to tell me that all the time. Son, it's cheaper to keep them. You say you watch Power Rangers when you was a kid? Yeah, 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 yeah. all of us are millennials, so we used to watch on Power Rangers for real. Power Rangers used to be the show. It used to be the show. So, but yeah, like I said, I learned a lot of life coping lessons on that show too. Of course, it was entertaining, but also I learned a lot too. I learned a lot of coping lessons on that show too. I did. So, but yeah. So thank y'all for tuning in. Actually, y'all, this the reason why I went live earlier today, earlier than usual, is because I'm going to set another one show later on tonight. Later on tonight, I am going to do my gaming live because I haven't gamed in a minute. So I am going to do my gaming live. I'm going to stream playing on God of War Ragnarok, and I'm going to schedule that live for probably about 9ish Central Standard Time, 9 or 10. We'll see. No, 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock would be better. I'm gonna schedule that live for 9 o'clock. My gaming live and playing God of War. So if you're interested in watching me play God of War, then by all means, come back later on tonight and watch me play that game. All right. Then my other game that I'm playing on, which is on Ghost, right? And I'll play that game sometime this week to resume playing that game as well too. So other than that, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in, and I will see y'all later on tonight. Constance, appreciate you tuning in as well too.